I didn't need another planner. I needed leverage. Hey, what's up? I'm Angelica Stanley, and today we're going to be on the third episode of if I started my business over again, I would use AI much sooner. I know that sounds crazy, but in this 5-part series, I'm talking to you about, things that come up, things that now that I know what I know, how can I help you get there quicker than me, right? Or eliminate these questions that I sat on for far too long, but at the appointed time they came, right? So I didn't need another planner. I needed leverage. And I'm talking about AI because I want to express to you the benefits of AI as a peaceful CEO. Because I'm all about ethical AI in this, because God called you to be, you're called in creative. And so we're not taking away you being fruitful and multiplying with the power of the Holy Spirit. But using AI for content is amazing. So one of the things that I do is like this particular podcast right now. This whole series, I had the ideas, I had the thoughts, I knew what I needed to do, outlined it, typed it up, said this and this and this, and I commanded AI to, basically, I need you to outline this a certain way because I need to break this into a 5-part series. I want to cover these points, these points, these points, and I want this to happen, and this to happen. I need the structure for this, this, and this. And it allows me to create content that would normally take me months to create. It allows me to do it in, 4 weeks, or a setting, 5 weeks, or not 5 weeks, but 5 days or 5 hours. So why am I telling you this? It helps me create content that speaks to my people, that instead of having a social media manager and dealing with, and it's not a control thing. I don't want to say that it's a control thing. It's very rare to find someone to do social media management or do, that kind of stuff, and they want to tweak what you've done. I don't want to knock the support that you receive, but there are some things like when God says, I want you to talk about this, this, and this, or when you believe that the Holy Spirit is saying, I need you to speak about this, this, and this, right? Then you do. You share that. You talk about that. And what can happen is if it's somebody else, they're going to want to change it. They're going to want to put their spin on it. And so I have found that using AI has allowed me to better steward without having the distraction or the interruption of someone else's input. Because remember, AI is only going to prompt you, or is only going to give you what you prompt. So it's not going to, unless you ask it for this or that or whatever, but it's not going to combat you in a sense, right? It's not going to correct unless you ask it and things like that. The next thing is for admin. When you have a 50 million tasks to do as an admin and you need help prioritizing which blah, 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 all these different things, it helps tremendously. Now, I also use AI for customer support. There are some things that come my way that I've never dealt with, okay? I've worked in the jail. I've been a counselor. And I will tell you that there are problems that come my way that I'm like, I do not have the language for this. Now, I would spend hours with, brothers and sisters and mentors because I'm so grateful for the leadership and mentorship that I have. But I have found that using AI for customer support allows me to take out the emotion of things and truly focus on converting our solution-oriented conversations. okay, that convert to a peaceful CEO standard, okay? Now, the other thing that I use AI for is repurposing. So for those of you that don't know, I'm an affiliate for vidIQ, which on the Authority Builder through angelicastanley.co, I basically use a tool to help my clients just get better growth on YouTube. Now, I was doing this prior, and then vidIQ reached out to me and said, hey, we want to make you an affiliate. This happened, we've seen this. And I was like, bet, this is great. Let's do it, right? So I use a tool that is AI centric, right? It's an AI tool to help me repurpose my content. It'll flip, it'll make shorts, it'll make clips, it'll do different things. It'll create me, hey, you should do this title, you should try this, you should try that. And it helps me to repurpose what I've created and give it a spin, like split A/B testing, right? The other thing is, I have to stress this to you, AI is not replacing people, okay? AI doesn't have emotion. AI doesn't have discernment. AI does not have the Holy Spirit, okay? Does not have a soul. So it's not replacing people. There are always going to be jobs and positions. Like, I was just having a conversation with, a dear friend, and this particular person was speaking specifically about building a business and launching the business and using AI to do it in fast time, right? Because that was the goal. They wanted to get it done. They had to get it done. Kind of like a survival mode thing. Like, I have to do this. And so they used it to get it done, and they created it. They established, the legal side of the business and everything. But my suggestion was, there is a downside to AI, because it's not going to challenge you unless you ask it to. So if you're in the mindset of building and you're like, I just need to get this done, I don't want any opposition, I just want people, I just need yes people in my life right now, well, AI will become that yes person for you. This is the reason why people are not being, like, AI is not replacing people. Because no matter what, we need checks and balances. No matter what, like, there's good and there's evil. No matter what, God is always, there's choice. There's always a yes and a no. And so that's the way God created life, right? That's what he gave us, the conviction and the knowing and the yes and the no. So AI isn't replacing people, because people are created to command. Okay? You have authority, and you have to exercise that authority. And part of walking in that authority is being able to receive constructive criticism, being able to ask for help, and being able to be redirected when you have potentially been misdirected, because you're not perfect. So for us to think that AI is going to be the perfect all, that's wrong. That's not of God. The only person that is perfect is Jesus. And we are to fellowship, right? And we are to be of Christ, right? So the other thing is, I want you to look at this in this perspective of that AI helps you steward your time. Now, AI helps you steward your time because there are tools that you can use for time blocking, management. Let's say, for instance, like, I use Claude, right? And I will say, or even in chat, GPT, and I'm working on a project, and I get to the end of the project, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to finish this. And I'm in Canva, or I'm doing this, or I'm YouTube or whatever, and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm editing my podcast, doing sound and all that stuff. And my timer goes off. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I can't work on this anymore. My time limit is there. It's time to clock out, right? So I essentially go into my AI tool, and I say, I'm not able to finish this. I need to move this on to the next calendar spot available. please review my calendar working hours and update my calendar with this exact chat link and calendar update and reminder so that I can get the notification for what I'm to do on my next working hours. Like, I schedule it. I do that because that's how I use AI to steward my time. Okay? And I'm using it as an assistant, right? For admin, for content, for all of these different things. So the peaceful CEO shift is using technology to protect your energy, okay? We're so used to, this world is very fast paced, okay? And I have found that people are using AI to do more, to do more, to do more. I'm using AI to slow down, and I do it in a way that allows me to work smarter, not harder. I get to be the tortoise in the hare race, right? And when everybody is burnt out, pumping out all this content, uploading and doing all of this, and it's all fake and everything, and it's not real, here I am, here you are. I'm not saying you don't use it. There's an appropriate time and place to use it. But here you are showing up as your authentic self, posting real life content, and people being like, oh yeah, I missed that, you know? And I just want to encourage you with this question. What tasks are you doing manually that AI could help with? The biggest one for me was the calendar. Okay? I pray this encouraged you. Until the next time, God bless you.